Wait a sec, wait a sec. Okay, now you can.
Thank you so much for being here. There's so many competitive events this evening. Oh my goodness. We are recording this session and it will be available on the League of Living Voters of the Ocompagre Valley website, as well as our YouTube channel, and the candidates may put this recording on their websites as well. And our experience has been that more people view this on the websites than they do coming here, so we hope that this gets lots of viewings. I'm Janine Reed. I'm the co-chair of the League of the Ocompagre Valley this year, and I welcome you to this candidate forum for school board candidates. Thank you so much for coming. This is such a, I was going to say ordeal, I think it probably is. Before I begin, I'm going to review some of the procedures that the League has for our candidate forums. First, this is not a debate. The purpose of our forums is to inform you through respectful questioning and listening. There will be no rebuttals from the candidates or comments from the audience, and we request that you do not verbally outburst. I see that you're all ready to do that. And we also request that you don't applaud. We also ask everyone to respectfully look at the campaign materials which are on the back table here. What we have on the side table, excuse me, is swag and information from the league. We've got ballot issue information, we've got some buttons about voting, so please feel free to pick up what you want from the side table. Please know how much we appreciate your adherence to the league features of our forums. Thank you. The candidates will speak in alphabetical order by last name for their introductory statements. After that, we will alternate opportunities for each candidate to speak first or last during this forum. Candidates may not use props, but they are allowed to speak from their notes. They may not interrupt each other. They have 1.5 minutes for opening remarks and 1.5 minutes for closing statement. 2 minutes will be allowed for responses to the questions. Of course, time limits on responses will be strictly observed. We have timekeepers. They'll hold up cards that will be visible to the speakers, indicating when 30 seconds remain and when the stop card is shown. The speaker will have 10 seconds to complete a sentence or thought, and I do have the responsibility to enforce the time limits should that become necessary. I also may interrupt a candidate if I believe he or she are straying from the subject. Each candidate may respond to each question, however, they are not required to respond to each question. We'll begin with a sequence of prepared statements. The League has come up with a few, but written questions will be collected from all of you. Marcia will be collecting the cards that you see on the table here. If you need a card, just ask Marcia to provide you one, and she will do so. Raise your hand if you'd like a card, and pass your cards to Marcia once you've completed them. They'll be reviewed by our screeners, Gretchen and Annette. They're screening them to make sure that they're appropriate, but also to avoid any duplication, because we do find that a lot of people have similar questions. So they'll just combine the topics to make sure that they're not overlapping too much. Often we don't have enough time to answer all the questions that are submitted. As I said, we will be posting or recording also on Facebook. So there are 5 candidates for 2 positions on the Delta School Board. The terms of each of these positions are 4 years. Candidates for District 1 include Christina Hines. Sheldon here is not able to come, although he did provide me opening and closing statements, which I will read on his behalf. The candidates for District 5 include Jennifer McGavin, Autumn Wynn, and Adina Kreutz. She also was not able to come, but I do have opening and closing statements for her. So I think we're ready for our 90-second opening statements, and we will begin with Christine.
Good evening. My name is Christina Hines, and I live in Delta, and I represent District 1 on the school board. I'm currently on the school board right now. I just love it. I love being interactive on the board and learning all different kinds of things. It is a very challenging job. It took me probably a good year to 2 years to learn what being a school member is in my role as in a community. So it took a lot of education on my part to learn that. But, let me tell you a little about myself. Sorry, I have 2 kids who are currently in the school district. One is in middle school at Delta Middle. The other one is a 9th grader at Delta High. I'm married to my husband who drives truck, and we also run a goats, and we have ostrich farm. So we've been really busy with that. In my I also clean houses. So I do that. And I have an Etsy business online where I make baby products. I like to sew and be creative and do that. Let's see. I have a business administration degree from Arizona State, and I need to stop, but thank you.
Was that the full 90 seconds?
No,
I had 30. Oh,
it was 30.
oh, okay. It's okay, so I'll yell, and I was like, I gotta stop. No, you're good. It's okay.
Okay, I will read Sheldon's opening statement.
Excuse me,
Yes.
can you move back just a tidge so that we can see you all the way? There you go.
This is weird to speak in the first person for this gentleman. I am 60 years old, married with 3 grown children and 6 grandchildren. Worked in public service as paramedic firefighter for 36 years and as a critical care flight paramedic for approximately 20 years. I have 10 years experience working in public service administration. That includes experience working for an elected board, same as the school board. I am retired as an emergency medical chief from the fire department. I served on the Colorado Mesa University Emergency Service Education Advisory Board. I am a business owner with a cow-calf operation that I've maintained throughout my professional career. I bring non-educational administrative experiences to the school board. All right, Jennifer.
Right, so I'm Jennifer McGavin, and I want your vote. I have lived in the North Fork Valley for 21 years, and I've taught karate to children for many of those. I have 2 advanced degrees, one in biology and one in business. And I was a researcher for many years before I came to Paonia to open up my retail store. I believe that every child has the right to be themselves, free from bullying, stereotyping, and judgment. And I also believe that they should have adults around them who love and respect them. Over the last 4 years, we have made real progress on the board. The improvements, they take time to see because this is a very large organization, but they're happening and they're good. And now I'm asking for 4 more years to keep that momentum going and to make Delta School District the best it can possibly be. Thank you.
Okay, Adina. I am Adina Kreutz, and I am running for a Delta School Board representing District 5. I am grateful to the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to share about myself and campaign, even though I am unable to join you in person. I am a resident of Crawford, where my husband and I farm. We have been lifelong farmers, stewards of the land and animals we've been blessed to care for. I graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with a Bachelor of Science degree in secondary education, emphasis in English and speech communications. I tutor students, setting them up to thrive to their fullest potential. I also help guide parents in advocating for their children in public education. Along with these roles, I rescue and rehabilitate draft horses, where I use my skills as an equine acupuncturist and as a graduate of Equusoma, human trauma recovery, to restore vitality and well-being to their lives. A vital reason for me running is literacy. I am convinced the best way to help students thrive well after high school is to give them a mastery of the written and spoken word. I successfully implemented a summer reading program with my draft horses and young students. I saw first. Oh, really? I'm only halfway through. She has lots to say. Okay. Your turn.
Thank you, and I'm sorry.
No, that's good. I was not looking up.
My name is Autumn Wynn, and I'm a parent, advocate, and community volunteer running for Delta County School Board District 5. My husband, Stephen, and I are raising 3 children in the district. Our oldest is a senior at North Fork High School, who also works in local businesses. Our middle child, attends Paonia K-8, and our youngest, who has profound autism, is also at Paonia K-8. My family's experiences in our schools have made me a strong advocate for inclusion, disability rights, and student-first decision-making. Through the IEP process, I have worked closely with teachers, paraprofessionals, and special education teams to ensure every child has the support they need to thrive. I also serve on a regional Medicaid advisory committee and hold a CNA license to better meet my son's needs. My platform centers on four pillars: students first, staff support, responsible budgets, and open, accessible governance. Thank you, and sorry I'm nervous as well. Just to be honest.
Okay. So the first question will go to you, Jennifer.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. It is, how would you describe your role as a member of the Board of Education?
A member of the Board of Education has many hats, and one of them is actually doing the budget, or looking over the budget, approving it, making policy, and hiring the superintendent. We also liaison with the staff by doing tours of the schools and listening to what they're saying and what their challenges are. We also go out into the community, and first of all, we listen when people call us up or email us, and we try to find out what they need and try to find the answers for them, or find out who has the answers. So I'm a communicator, and I'm a manager, and I'm a liaison on the board.
Oh, same question?
Yes.
Sorry, sure. I was listening.
Yeah. How would you describe your role as a member of the Board of Education?
A listener as well. I would really like to get with the community and talk about things, see how they feel. My opinion may be different than your opinion. And having advisory groups or just community meetups monthly to discuss how they feel about things and what we're doing or how we can help the community, the schools, the staff, the students. I just want to be the voice for District 5, but not just my voice, our voices.
Okay, my role as a school board member is to listen to the community, but also when I listen to the community, I also need to relay the laws to the communities and how the rules and the procedures of how the school district functions, but also always keeping students first, because that's the #1 priority, is thinking about the kids and staff in our community. And I also, as a school board member, I need to learn from professional educationers, teachers, sorry, I'm nervous too, and to make decisions that follow the law while always putting our kids first. The board, our goal is to we set the vision for the whole school district, we make policy, but not day-to-day policies. We just make the overall vision. We don't control the operations, what the teachers and staff does. But we also need to ensure transparency, financial responsibilities, and respect that all voices in the community. So when people come to me, I need to help relay that to the administration staff of what the concerns are in the community, what's working, what's not, how can we refocus and make everything better. So my main priorities is always to focus on the kids, and my decision making is always on kids and staff first. So, yes. Thank you.
So, Autumn, how can the school district deal with the diminishing school count?
Oh, enrollment.
Yes.
Yes, that's a big topic of discussion right now. How can they deal with it is getting out there and just talking to the community, asking why, what, why, when, and where questions to see what we can do to help them, get back into school with us instead of pulling out and homeschooling or going somewhere else. I feel like a school is, the center of our community, and if we're not all working together to make this happen, then things like this happen. But yeah, I just really want to get out there and listen and talk to everyone and have groups. I hope that answers the question.
Christina?
Like Autumn said, that's a very hot topic because I understand our enrollment is going down, and we need to figure out why. There's different reasons why. We need to just figure out why. It's not because everyone's pulling them out, like Autumn said, or you didn't say that, but like one of your suggestions was maybe homeschooling and things like that. But I also think our community's changing. We're turning into more of a retirement community, so there's less families in the area. So we need to take that into account. We also know there's not much jobs available here for young families to support. The cost of living has increased dramatically. Housing used to be, when we moved here 10 years ago, it was $200,000 for a house, and now it's $500,000 for just the same house. And so that kind of deters a lot of families from moving in here. So I think we just need to sit down and kind of ask parents. And then, and also our birth rates are going down. The hospital closed the birth center because there wasn't enough babies being born. I think they said just over 100 babies, don't quote me on that, but somewhere over 100 babies were born last year, so they couldn't maintain that unit anymore because of financial responsibility. So we need to figure out why people aren't having kids as much. So there's so many factors to think about, and I think we just need to sit down as a community and try to figure out what's going on. So thank you.
Well, I love this question. Thank you for this. It is economics and demographics in the first instance. We do know of families that have actually had to move out of state up to Canada because the tariffs right now were so bad they couldn't keep their business open. That's just one family, but Christina has elucidated a few other points of what's going on with the demographics. There's also competition from private schools, and I understand that every parent should put their child in the school they feel most comfortable with. But we have to remember that public schools take every single student, every child. And that we also, with that, provide the most extracurriculars and, I believe, the best educational opportunities. So what we have to do is communication. We need to get back out there and make sure that we are contacting all of our homeschoolers every year, reminding them of the opportunities to do part-time schooling, 1 or 2 classes or sports that they're allowed to do. And then we also should be enrolling some more online students because we have the new online school, and that will help our numbers as well. Those are 2 ideas that I think will help stem the tide. Thank you.
Christina, can you briefly describe Colorado ballot measures LL and MM?
Is that referring to the food?
Yes.
Okay.
And how will they affect school-age children?
Okay. So I need to just heads up, I still need to read that ballot, but my understanding is both of them, if you say yes to the ballot, to those measures, it means that all the kids in Colorado will get free breakfast and lunch, is my understanding. Please, someone speak up if that's not correct. So I am for that because as a parent, my kids rely on school lunch because it's free. When kids get to eat, their mind is not focused on being fatigued and tired. They can focus on learning, and they're healthy and they're stronger, and they can participate more in school and learn things. So I'm all for both of those measures being passed, and then not just because kids need to eat no matter what if you're below poverty, whatever your income is, I believe every kid should eat. And then also it helps the family significantly. I did just the math for my two boys. If they were just eating lunch, it would cost me $180 a month for them to eat school lunch. So that saves my family, I'm just rounding up to $200 a month, and that's significant for my family. I'm just a working class mom, just trying to make ends meet. So I really strongly encourage this bill. So, both of them, I mean.
I think one of them is a bill to override Tabor and keep some of the funds that we have from Tabor to help with Medicare or Medicaid and lunches. And the other one is puts a tax on people earning over $300,000 a year. And it's not a significant tax. I think for a couple, it's like $545, if I remember the number. In our school district, as long as we keep our federal funds, since we're actually CEP overall with enough free and reduced students, it makes a small dent in our funding. But I still heartily support it because we don't know what's coming down the pike. I agree with Christina that families can save over $1,000 a year with breakfast and lunch for their kids, or just supplement the breakfast and lunch that they give these high schoolers with a second lunch. That would be lovely. And I think the lunches are good, they're getting better, and more children are eating them this year. Thank you.
It's hard to follow because they've said everything. They've said I agree with what they've said. Sometimes school lunches and breakfast are the only meals some kids have. So it's important. So I agree with everything just said, basically. So I don't have any more to add.
I do, which is, please pick up some of the league brochures about the ballot issues that are on the table here. That does do a nice flow chart which explains LL and MM. And also we've got some blue books there as well if you haven't already received yours in the mail.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's exactly.
Good job.
Okay, so Autumn will begin with you this time. No, you start. Okay, Jennifer, we'll start with you this time. The school board has more than just a monthly meeting. Will you be able to dedicate enough time to this position if you have a long drive or children? And we'll begin with Jennifer.
Oh my gosh, well, I remember, so I ran in 2021 because I finally did have enough time to dedicate to this. Before that, my mother was living here. She had ALS, and we had to spend a lot of time taking care of her and all the things that went with it. She passed. I forgot to mention that I also had to give up a part-time job that was actually my grocery bill, paid my grocery bill. And my shop is doing well, and I'm able to take the time off during the day when I need to. Sometimes there are a lot of commitments and I have to say no to them, but when I can, I really like to go to the concerts during the day, or the plays and those kind of things. And then I'll pop out there in the North Fork Valley a lot of times that I can make And then we give out awards during the day, and go watch competitions and other things. So that's the extras beyond the board meetings. We also bone up during the night when we get all our packets and we read those through.
Yes, actually, before I even decided to put my intent in, I made sure all ducks were in a row. Because I do have 3 children and one with profound autism, but I have a wonderful friend group and team that works with him. It took a lot of work to get that. We've been here for a little over 2 years, so it took 2.5+ years to get him a team, because when you say profound autism, it's level 3. So he's nonverbal as well. So it's finding the right fit for him, and we have, and it's wonderful. So yes, I would have never done this if I couldn't be there for everything in the community, because I want to be reliable, and the most important part of being reliable is being available. So I am available during the day, and my friends and team and his team, I say my team because I'm part of the team, are ready to do this.
I would say yes, because I'm currently on the board and I'm able to balance my family with my kids and husband work already. But I do wanna make a comment. When I first started, someone told me, oh, it's real easy, it's just 2 meetings a month. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the truth is, sorry, that flies by me. There's more than just 2 meetings a month. There's tons of emails from just the community you need to read, from teachers, staff. There's our board packets for the work sessions. They're normal. There's special meetings that we randomly have. There's executive sessions that we need to deal with anything that comes up randomly. It's a lot more time than what people think, and we got to remember we're doing this for free, but it's really ultimately comes to another part-time job when you add up all the hours of everything we do. But I'm able to balance it because I do clean houses, so all my clients know they're super flexible with me and they understand, so I can just rotate them to another day, and that helps me out a lot. And then plus I have my awesome husband who is at home with my kids right now making meatloaf dinner, so we're good. Everything's good. I have a good support around me, so yeah, I can definitely commit to everything.
So Autumn, what is your position respecting marginalized students, for example, LGBTQ?
So I feel like every student has the right to be who they are, without judgment, without judgment. Am I answering this question correctly? It's not my business, but I also feel it's the parents' business, and they deserve to know what's going on with their child. In respect to that, I think it's not my business, but I'm all for inclusion of all students, from unique abilities to LGBTQ. So that's what inclusion means. It's including everyone, not just disabled individuals. It's everyone. So that's how I feel about that. Did that explain it? I'm sorry, I'm nervous still. You'd think I would not be nervous by now.
Okay, I think it's important for the community to remember that public school means it's public and it's open to everyone. It doesn't matter what your gender is, your sexual preferences with that one, your income of your family, your race, your hair, it doesn't matter. We need to educate kids no matter if they have a disability or if they're gifted and talented. As a public school, we need to educate everyone and equally, so to me, it doesn't matter what a child is, we're still gonna treat them the same no matter what. I'm kinda like Autumn, we just need to teach everyone. I'm not discriminating against anyone.
Yes, I even know, somebody told me today about a nephew who left one of the high schools because of bullying, because he was gay. And I'm not sure if that happened this year or last year, but I do think that these children have more bullying and harassment happening to them. And one way to combat that is to educate not only the children, but also the adults. And I have been a proponent of adding informational or teaching to the teachers so that they learn how to interact with bullies and intercept the bullies early. Sometimes, as I've said before, teachers don't know what to say right in the moment, then the moment passes. Now what are you going to do? It's too late, it's too silly, don't worry about it, he didn't mean it, kids will be kids. We've got to stop that, because what we've been doing so far is only marginally working, and I'd like to improve that.
Christina, what should be the board's involvement vis-a-vis curriculum?
Okay, so we have a protocol, I wish I would have brought that sheet. So we have a system on how we pick curriculum. Right now we have something called the CAT team, and they get together. It has professional teachers, or some parents are involved, and they pick out different types of curriculum. Say if the subject is math, for math, they pick out the curriculum for 8th grade math. They'll pick out different types of curriculum, and then they will spend months going through it, and they have this whole graph and worksheet printed out, and they fill out every question to try to figure out what book works best for our students. So I personally, I'm not an educator, I don't know math. I know math and science, I'm sorry. I do know the basics, but you can't give me the history and everything. I don't know it all. That's not my role as a board. I rely a lot on the staff because they're the professionals. They went to school, they're educated in this subject. They know what's best and how to teach our kids. So I personally believe that they should pick the curriculum. And then as a board member, we just kind of oversee it to make sure, okay, that's basically in our budget, okay. But no, I don't think it's our role as a board member to pick out certain curriculum, to be honest. I'm not a professional. And yeah, the board, oh no, I have 30 seconds, I'm good, okay, sorry. As a board, we come from different backgrounds, and not all of us have college degrees or doctor's degrees, so yeah, I don't think it's the board's decision to pick out curriculum. Okay.
Well, we are actually responsible for the curriculum, but I agree that we leave it to the professionals. I trust them. Even if I was one of them, I'm not being paid for this, and this takes a long time to do it, and I think we should leave it to them. What the board also does is that they review materials that people have complained about and put in for review. But they don't even review it. We have another team look at it, give us a recommendation, then the superintendent goes back and says that material stays in or we hold it. And then if they want to complain further, they can come to the board and we would then review it. But our involvement in the last 4 years has been on 1 or 2 particular books so far, actually 2 books. The other reason I don't want to do this is because even just last year, we wasted 4 months discussing one particular book before it even came to a vote because one board member wanted to. And that just, we needed to get other things done.
Okay, I don't have experience obviously for 4 years on the board and what happens with how they choose curriculum, but I do know about the teams and the professionals that look through it. Same, I didn't go to school to be a teacher, a paraprofessional. I'm going to go to the professionals and see the facts. But I think sometimes parents forget that they have access to go in and talk to their schools. I do every day almost. Not specifically about curriculum, it's about other things because of my son and my daughter in the PK8. But you have access to talk to your teachers, the administration. It's not just a shut door. If you have an issue, not only you can email the board members, or you can contact the principals, the teachers. They have parent-teacher conferences. There's, Power School for Grades, obviously not to look at curriculum, but they're not saying you can't come in. You are very involved if you choose to be involved. So if there's something that's bothering you in the curriculum, just talk to your school. Talk to the superintendent, talk to anyone and everyone that you need to, and that's okay. And they're open to it. Thank you. Me too. I think it's me.
I think it's you. What is your philosophy about consolidation with respect to the K-8 grades?
This is also a hot subject in District 5. I don't think it's an either or. They have a task force. They put together a task force to come up with ways to make sure it doesn't happen. My personal opinion is I think that each town should have their own elementary school PK8. So it's accessible, because once schools close, it kind of puts a damper on the community. Because it is the center of town. It's where everyone goes, where you have the pickup line and parents get together and talk about things, make plans, and their kids play. And if that's gone, kids will be traveling and might not have that 5 minutes to talk to Sally's mom about a play date this weekend because you're rushing. And the schools in particular that the discussion was happening with are wonderful schools. They both have their own unique qualities for each community. And kids travel from Paonia to Crawford to Paonia for these two different types of curriculums or education styles. And they're doing well. So I think it's about figuring out how do we keep the schools where they are, how they are, but give them what they need, the resources they need for the support and success of the staff and the students. Thank you.
So, I think this question, like Autumn said, is directed to the Norfolk area. I don't want any of the community schools to be closed. I think it's very important to have a school in each community for transportation reasons. It's the heart of the community, like Autumn said. Try not to repeat too much she said, because it was very good. But yeah, just when you close a school, it closes the community, the town kind of dies a little bit. So I don't want to close any school. I think we need to focus. We do have a task force, and they're pulling teachers and community members, and they're trying to figure out how to keep all these schools open. So there's different options for whatever the parents need, because there's different schools there. So they just need to get together, and we need to try to figure out like our enrollment plan, the education value, the community impact. We just need to try to figure out how to keep local schools, because I don't want to see any town without a school. That's just really heartbreaking to see that, to be honest. It's just, yeah, it just breaks my heart to see that. So I do not want that to happen, and I'll try everything to keep it open, all the schools open, as long as we can. We'll have to try to figure something out, but that's what we have the task force for, so, yeah, that's what it. This was rambling, but go.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We have to remember, though, that this is not consolidation. It was talk of sharing a campus and then which community the campus would be in. Right now, both schools have over 100 in enrollment, and they both achieve towards the top. They're both top performers in our elementary grade CMAS tests. And we need to remember that about 50 kids came back from homeschooling when Waldorf was open. Not right away, but we have actually increased our enrollment on that side. And they would probably go away if it was, I don't know if they'd go away if it was moved, but some of them certainly would go back to homeschooling. I agree with the other two. Both communities are very important, very vital. I've been to many of their, not outings, but many of their performances, and you should see how many people just from Paonia go out to the park who are the parents of teachers. They're not even parents, they just moved here or they came here because they knew this performance was going on. So I think they're vital parts. Right now they're working within their budget, and at that point we should keep them as they are and also wait for the task force results. They have some good ideas going on there.
You have done a good job going through these questions. I'm going to ask one more and then we'll go to closing statements. And the last question is, what are your budget priorities? We'll start with.
Oh, okay. That's a big question because there's so much to do. Because if you had all the money in the world, that would be great. But I think my budget priority, first off, would be just to make sure the kids are all educated in their basic math, reading, curriculum, core courses, to make sure that we have professional teachers, qualified teachers to teach those. So I would make sure that's our number one priority with our budget. I want to keep all our facilities open and operating and well maintained. Let's see, we had that, we need to do that. I would also like to see some extra classes if I could. I would like some more life skill classes, especially in the North Fork area and in Delta, actually in Cedar Edge too. Just kids learning basics, like how to budget and use debit card and not to use so much of Uber for lunches. That would, and waste money doing that. Sorry, there's a lot of, let's see. Also, I would like to make sure that our parking lots are good, to make sure with the parents, there's lots of parking issues. We need to expand that. We have some empty buildings. We need to figure out what to do with that with our budget. I think I'm getting a little sidetracked. Probably give teachers more pay so we're more competitive with our neighboring communities. That would be great. I could go on and on, but if we had, yeah, so I'm just gonna stop. Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Much obliged. All right. Well, budget priorities are hard to figure out before you know what the budget is going to be. And that is why we will come up with several scenarios this year and about budgets, minus 1.5 million, minus 3 like last year. But one of the problems last year is when this budget came out of minus 3 million, everybody got up in arms about us cutting this or that was their personal wish. And it's important to remember that if we're going to be transparent, we need to be able to give you this information without you freaking out. So let's keep working on the communication, and then when we have a budget shrinkage, we can make good decisions together as a team, the community and the district. My priorities are to keep teacher funding, raises if we can, look at the class sizes, make sure that's being taken care of, the maintenance, make sure the heat is on, so the basic stuff. And if we have to cut, then I would try to cut capital spending first, and maybe not do all the tracks in the high schools or all the landscaping and that sort of thing. Thank you.
Last one for the question. You guys said so many things already. So for the budget priorities, transparency is very important. Everyone deserves to see where money is going. And I know that there is, that there's already a budget on the website, but maybe a little bit more detailed and more of a modernized formula, to see certain things and, you know, X goes here, Y goes here, things like that. We also have a lot of vacant buildings. In Paonia, there's one very large one. It costs money to heat it, maintain it, all of that. I feel like working with local, municipalities, of course, all the names are out of my head right now, one Delta County, with them, coming up with a game plan of what can we do with these buildings to help our community, so we can get more resources into schools, or utilize the building for things. I know it used to be utilized for multiple different things, but that's taking money away from classrooms. It's taking money away from students, teachers, paraprofessionals, all supports. Everyone, support staff, administration down to the support staff. And that money could be put into the schools. And every decision with the budget should start with what will make the student thrive best. Thank you.
All right, so let's have some closing statements now, and we'll begin with Christina.
So again, my name is Christina, and I would love it if you guys would support me so I can continue another 4 years being in office, so I can kind of look at what I started and see it through. And I would love it if you support it, because I am a mom and I could be that voice for parents, because I'm the one who goes through registration as a parent that other board members don't get to see because they don't have to go through that process. I would love to continue supporting our schools and our community and our kids, and I would make every decision based on the kids. I wouldn't vote based on politics or anything like that. I have been, I just vote what's best for the kids and staff. I'd love it if you guys, like I said, support me, because I'm not taking any donations or anything, so I think that's important. I don't have a big political party backing me. I'm just one voice in this community, and yeah, and if you make homemade signs for me, that would be great too. Just put that plug in, sorry. Anyways, yeah, I guess I probably have my.
I'm speaking on behalf of Shelton here. In closing, families and community members have brought up concerns about being listened to. If we create an environment the public feels safe speaking in, I believe they will help solve these problems. As a board member, I also believe in going to the community, showing up to school-sponsored community events, parent-teacher conferences, and scheduled parent meetings. Families, teachers, and students have brought up the concern of disciplinary problems. I would like to create a task force with administration, school principals, teachers, and school board members to start listening to the community and find solutions. I believe this issue is a distraction that needs to be resolved to keep students in school and improve the learning environment. Education experts are pushing direct, explicit teaching and the science of learning to get our students back on track. I was pleased to see that the last school board meeting included a presentation on the power of explanation and explicit teaching. I am a strong supporter of this program, as it demonstrated improvements in student outcomes.
30 seconds.
The last issue I'd like to address is the concern that certain state laws, policies, and bylaws may negatively impact students and families. We can use the local control of the school board to write strong, proactive policies to protect students and families. Example, Colorado High School Activities Association, bylaw 300, allowing men and women's sports. Representing families of Delta County School Board districts, I support the safety of our young women with the stance of no men in women's sports. Thank you for your time. Okay. Right on. And then Adina says, hers was short. I got it. Excellence in education is the backbone of a society that thrives because it sets children up for success. Literacy, parental involvement, and a safe learning environment are vital to a school district of excellence, and I will help facilitate improvements in each of these areas. I'm an idealist. I believe we can do better in the school district for the benefit of students, families, and our communities. I don't stop pushing to be the best version of myself each day. I will do the same as a member of the Delta County School District 50J. Again, I ask for your vote on November 4th. Thank you. Okay, Jennifer.
Sure. Well, real board members are up here answering questions. Real board members do not shy away from the hard ones. Over the past 4 years, we've faced tough votes, and I've never backed down from what I believe is right. I've stood up for kids' rights, the right to be themselves, the right to privacy, and the right to a quality education free from prejudice and bigotry. Tonight you see who's here and who isn't. The people up here are the ones doing the work. They're the ones asking the questions, and they're the ones who are making decisions for our students and staff. This election is not about slogans or agendas. It's about whether we want a board that answers to our community or a board that answers to a different agency. We've proven we can keep our district strong and keep improving it. We're tough, we're committed, and we will make you proud.
First, thank you everyone for being here, and thank you for organizing this. I know it's a lot of work, so thank you. As a parent of 3 children in our district, one of them being a young student with profound autism, I don't see Delta County School District from the sidelines. I live it every day. My family's journey, particularly through the special education and IEP process, has given me invaluable hands-on experience. In effective collaboration with our dedicated educators and staff, it has fundamentally shaped my commitment to inclusion, disability rights, and ensuring that every single student is seen, supported, and given the opportunity to thrive. I'm running for school board because our students deserve governance that is focused, strategic, and accessible. My platform is built on 4 essential pillars: students first, staff support, responsible budgets, and open, accessible governance. Sorry, Ms. Hunter. If elected, I promise to bring my experience as an advocate and my commitment as a parent and community member to every board decision. I ask for your vote so we can work together to restore the balance in our schools and make Delta County the best place to learn and teach together. And I also wanted to jump off what she said. I don't have big party money either, so.
Thank you so much, candidates, for your participation tonight, but also for putting yourself out there. This is a big deal. And thank you, audience. We applaud your efforts to inform yourself about what's going on here. So thank you so much. And with that, I'll say good evening.
Thank you.